Hi everyone, I am Tracy DeMario and I am your Scentsy Family Superstar Director. I was wanting to go over a training that I did recently at a local meeting and share some information. If you weren't able to attend live and in person, we want to be sure that you have access to that same information. We're going to be talking a lot about Scentsy and sales as far as your business goes, and hopefully you'll learn some new information that can help you be a better consultant, which will then in turn help your business grow. First of all, I wanted to let you guys know, where is Scentsy now? Some of you know I recently got back from attending the Superstar Director Summit at Scentsy headquarters, and there numbers were shared with us, and it was really exciting to hear that this year we are up based on our numbers as a company from September of last year, so that's a very positive. In Canada, they are currently in double-digit growth, and in Australia they are in triple-digit growth, which is to be expected since they are so new and have launched so strong in Australia. So saying that, I wanted to remind you guys, if you're finding it to be, hard to work your business, or you're letting yourself think things like, oh, there's too many Scentsy consultants, or, nobody wants to buy Scentsy because there's so many other companies to buy from, the facts do not prove any of that to be true. In fact, I can tell you for certain, because I do a lot of events, one of the most common things I hear from customers who come to our booth is they are looking for a consultant to take care of them. They had one at one time, they started using our products, they fell in love with our products, and now consultants have quit, they've moved, or they've just decided not to actively work their business, and therefore all these people who are using Scentsy now are looking for someone to take care of them. So that's really important. As far as recruiting numbers go, our active consultant base is less than 200,000 consultants. That is in the entire world, everywhere Scentsy goes. That is so minute. There is no such thing as too many Scentsy consultants in any neighborhood. Regardless of where you live, how big your town is, how small your town is, I am here to tell you with 100% certainty there are more customers out there in each and every state, and or country for that matter, than we could ever service properly. So, with that being said, stay focused. Remind yourself that you're a Scentsy Family Consultant. We have products people want. They're in demand. Our last Warmer of the Month clearly shows that, because despite Scentsy Family's best projections, on the first day we sold out of Chasing Fireflies, making that the most popular selling warmer in Scentsy Family history in 10 years. So clearly, it's not an issue of products. It's not an issue of too many consultants. It's an issue of, are you determined to do something with this business? The next thing that I want to talk about is monthly promotions. Every month, many of you know, we have a new warmer and we have a new scent that comes out. So we're all super excited. On the first of every single month, we're eagerly await for our workstations to come up so we can go in and see what the new warmer is. And of course, as consultants, we just get giddy like it's Christmas all over again. So of course, we want so bad to share it with everyone we know. Well, here's what we know for a fact. Sharing that information before it can actually be ordered is not going to help your current month's sales. So while it is not against policy, I am strongly going to encourage you as your Upline Superstar Director to please wait. Hold off. Don't be tempted. Hold off and wait and share those images and that information on the upcoming scent and warmer of the month until 2 or 3 days prior to the actual month that they can order it. If you're new to Scentsy, what I'm trying to say is if you go blasting that on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of the month, there were people, customers, and friends and family that possibly had planned on ordering a warmer they loved in the current catalog this month, but because you shared the new one, they've now decided to hold their order and wait for the following month. And now you've lost out on a sale when in reality they would have bought that warmer this month and been so crazy about the warmer next month, they would have found another place. As long as you got more rooms in your house, you have room for more warmers in your house. So with that being said, I hope that you will hear me when I say, please do not post that information ahead of time. Now, I do use this as a booking tool. If I am talking to someone and they're interested in having a home, bag, or online party, I will either share with them the copy of the flyer, I will email that to them, or I will message that to them so that they have access to that, because again, I can use that as a booking incentive if I'm trying to fill up my calendar for the following month. but you will not see me blasting it all over the place for people to see a month prior. Okay, next, it's very important as consultants that we set the correct expectations with our customers. On a regular basis, I have customers who come to my booth, and I have some who love Scentsy and can't get enough of it, and I have others who are very frustrated. They will come up and say things like, you know, I have this Scentsy thing, I can't even smell it. One of the first questions, of course, I ask them, well, what type of warmer are you using? Are you using a full-size warmer or are you using a plug-in? What size room are you using it in? When they tell me in their great grand room they're using a plug-in warmer, then it's obvious to me they don't have the right warmer for that room, and therefore they're going to have a very bad scent experience with Scentsy if they have been led to believe that little plug-in is going to fill that entire space. So set real expectations with your customers. When you're at home parties and you're helping people make decisions on what they're going to be ordering, ask questions like, do you currently own a Scentsy warmer? What room in the house are you looking to put another Scentsy warmer? Do you have Scentsy warmers in your bathrooms? If not, the plug-ins are perfect for that. Oh, do you have really high ceilings? In that case, I want to be sure that you're putting 2, possibly even 3 cubes of wax so that you get the best scent experience. It's always best to give them the information that's going to start them off with great experience than for them to have a bad one. It's going to be a lot harder to keep them. So that's really, really important. Don't promise things as far as shipping times. It has always been, now and forever, 10 business days. Whether it's January, March, September, November, or December, 10 business days is what it clearly states in our Scentsy standards. That is what we should be always quoting our customers as far as their expectations on shipping. Yes, there are times we get them in 3 days, sometimes 5 days. I mean, Scentsy is amazing at doing their absolute best at getting us our product as fast as possible. But if you do get it early and you get it to your host early, then you're the hero. Now she's so excited. It wasn't an expectation, instead it was a bonus. She's pleasantly surprised. So be realistic, because you can't go back on something once you've made promises. It's going to affect not only your business, but it can also affect our reputation as Scentsy consultants. So that's very important. Next, I want to talk about our wax and warmers versus their wax and warmers. We all know there's lots of companies that have made every attempt at getting a little piece of our pie. We are the leading fragrance company in direct sales, and no one will even come close to catching up with us. Again, I had the opportunity to tour Scentsy Fragrance, and we got a lot of information that was shared with us. And I can assure you the things they have planned, and they are years ahead in their thought process, in their product design, on their development. It's not humanly possible for anyone to catch up with our technology and the things that they have planned. If you're excited to be a Scentsy consultant now, I'm here to tell you, when you see some of the things they've shared with us, it is going to absolutely blow your mind. So hold on, because the best ride is yet to come. Stay with us. When it comes to talking about other companies, this is going to happen. You're going to find yourself at a home party or at an event or having conversation, and you're going to ask, like I do at my home parties, how many of you already have a Scentsy warmer? I want to kind of get a feel for my crowd. And never fails, I'll have somebody shout out, well, I don't have one of your warmers, but I have a warmer. Or I've never used Scentsy wax, but I have that other stuff. And I'm real quick to say, well, that's not a problem. I'm glad that you told me that, because before the end of the evening, you're going to find out why our warmers are the safest warmers on the market, and why our wax is the best wax you can purchase to enjoy your scent experience. Now, throughout my presentation, or when I'm talking to a customer, I'm going to say something like this. If they come up and say, well, I don't have one of your warmers, I'm going to tell them, I'm not going to talk bad about them, but I'm going to say something like this. Well, just give me a second to tell you a little bit about a Scentsy warmer. Number one, safety is our utmost concern. Therefore, we go to the strictest, we take it very serious when it comes to safety. They've met the highest safety standards in the United States and in Canada. You can leave our warmers on 24/7, and you never have to worry about coming back and finding your house burning down if you're using it properly. One of the other things that's really fabulous about Scentsy's warmers is they are not going to get so hot that they're going to burn you should you touch them. They are designed so that they melt the wax at a very low temperature. It's going to be a little bit warmer than body temperature. So if children or pets were to touch the wax, it's not going to hurt them. And that's a huge selling point, because a lot of those other warmers, and of course I'm not saying this to the customer, but they do get really hot, and the wax is super hot too. When it comes to our wax, I simply tell them we use a food grade wax. Our wax is the highest quality of wax that you can purchase. Therefore, it's going to hold more fragrance oil than a soy or candle wax. They just need the information so that they can process it and make a good choice. Another thing that's important, well, I'm going to buy your wax, but I'm going to use it in my non-Scentsy warmer. I mean, when they buy your wax, you can't prevent them from doing whatever they're going to do with it. But I'm still going to throw a little bit in here and say, you know, once you leave here, what you choose to do with our Scentsy wax is totally up to you, but I do want to be sure you understand so you can get the best scent experience, that when you use our wax with other warmers, it's never been tested, and more than likely those warmers are going to get really, really hot, and it is going to release our fragrance much faster than our warmers that use the 25 watt and lower appliance bulbs, because our wax is a softer wax. If you've ever used any of those other brand waxes that are soy or candle, they're hard like concrete. It's going to make it more difficult to change your wax when you're ready to do so, should it ever get spilled, and again, you're not getting to take full advantage of the Scentsy bars. So that's how I handle that. Okay, I see this from time to time. I see posts, or I've heard people say things or post things like, oh my gosh, my friend had a Scentsy warmer and it caught on fire. Well, I can assure you, and I feel 100% confident when I say this, that Scentsy warmers do not catch on fire. They were designed purposefully to short out. If there's an electrical surge, if there's any electrical errors that take place, it is possible that that warmer will pop. It is possible that that light bulb and that whole bottom area of the warmer will get very dark, black, kind of sooty looking. All of those things are possible. It is designed to short out. And if it's used with Scentsy wax, you don't have to have any worries about there being any opportunities for there to be a fire. So if you see people claiming that a Scentsy warmer caused a fire, I can guarantee you with 100% certainty that if there was an investigation where the fire marshal and insurance companies were involved, if the Scentsy warmer was used as it's intended to, with our wax, then and our light bulbs and or the right light bulbs, it was not, had nothing to do with the Scentsy warmer. If you have reports of that, if you see things like that, contact customer support for your customer, and because we have a lifetime electrical warranty, that will be replaced, and they will want that warmer back so they can see if they can figure out the reasoning for the short or what took place with that warmer. Okay, I have this come up a lot too. People are like, well, I have all these old bars. I feel like I should discount them. You know, what should I do with my old product? You do not ever need to feel like you need to discount product. You know, if you just want to, just because, that's totally up to you. But the fact is, there are people who will actually pay more for older bars and pay more for older warmers. And again, I am not promoting that you do that. I personally never overcharge what I paid for anything. But at the same time, my point is that just because it's last year's catalog or one of our Bring Back My Bars that you can't currently get, do not feel the need to discount them. On all my Scentsy bars, I sell them all for the same price, whether they're current or they're not current. If they're on my table and you pick one of those, it's going to be priced out just like anything else. So that's really important that you have an understanding for that too. Okay, back orders, especially this is a busy time of year. The odds are that something you want at some point is going to go on back order. Scentsy does a phenomenal job. Keep in mind, they have millions of SKUs that they are responsible for. And our back order list, even on the worst of days, is very, very small compared to the number of products that we have available to us. Make sure you're checking the news tab on a daily basis, especially now through the end of December, to keep notice on what's on the back order list. Before you go to a home party, make sure you've looked at that back order list. You need to know so that you can give your customers information on when they can expect this item. Example, I'm at a home party. I'm not going to stand up and say, hey, just so you guys all know, don't order the cream tulip because it's on back order. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is when I'm talking to a customer and I'm asking her, what room are you going to be putting this warmer in? Had you made some selections? Which ones were you looking at? And she says, well, I kind of like the blue diamond and I kind of like the cream tulip. And I might say at that point, well, you know what, those are both extremely popular selections. In fact, right now, the cream tulip is currently on back order. We're expecting it on September the 28th. If that's not going to be a problem for you, then we can go ahead and order it, and you will get it on or around September the 28th or when it ships out. And I'll be sure to notify you when you can expect it. It's good to give that information because in this case she was teeter-tottering. She might be like, oh, I really want it for next weekend or whenever, 2 weekends from now, because she's having company over. She may go with the Blue Diamond. Maybe it's for a wedding gift at the end of the month and she has to know she has that item. But because I gave her the information, she can now make an educated decision. The majority of the time, if you give people the information, they're going to be totally fine with continuing to order what they want. It's when they get surprised and people did not share with them. If you have something that is on back order and you place an order and you see your order status go immediately to back order, do not panic. The worst thing that will happen is whatever item is on the back order list, if it's not expected to arrive within 10 business days, your entire order will ship without that item, and that item will ship as it states on the back order list. You'll get an additional tracking number at a later date. So that's really important. If they anticipate that it's going to all arrive within 10 days, they will hold the entire order for the 10 business days. Please keep in mind, Scentsy offsets the shipping charges with UPS. We have a huge contract with UPS, and we get a very, very reasonable rates as consultants on our shipping for our customers and for us. But Scentsy does offset that. It does cost them money. In fact, they lose hundreds of thousands of dollars every year on shipping from excessive shipping and doing things like holding or not holding an order for 10 days when 2 days later they could have shipped it all together. At the course of the end of the year, that adds up to a lot of money. So they do that because if they are responsible, fiscally responsible with their funds, then that's going to provide more funding for additional items like incentive trips or charms or incentives that they may come up with. So we need to trust our company that they're making good fiscal decisions even when we don't always understand it. Okay, again, if you see that things are sold out, don't panic, because if you did a good job and you educated your hosts and your customers, warmers of the month and holiday warmers are always while supplies last. Therefore, if we get this new, we just started selling the holiday warmers, if one of them sells out in 2 weeks and you didn't tell your customers and they call you with an order and they're angry about it, you want to be sure that you're letting them know up front. And, if they're holding off to say, well, by the end of the month I want to be sure to order the snowman, you need to say, I hope that the snowman's still available, but these are while supplies last. So the only way to ensure I can get you that snowman is to go ahead and get your order placed. And at least give them that option and that information. Okay, the holidays are coming. Ho, ho, ho. Whether you want them to or not, they are going to happen. And what does that mean? When is the Scentsy cutoff date? When's the last date I can order? Well, we don't know yet. Scentsy has not made the official announcement, and when they do, we will be sure to share that information. At this time, I'm recommending that you take into consideration there are weather, which does not count when Scentsy gives us a cutoff date. If UPS cannot get to us due to weather, then there's nothing that can be done about that. So, for example, last year I believe the U.S. cutoff date was December the 18th. That means they guarantee they will have, if you order it on or before December 18th, your customers will receive them, if there's no weather issues with UPS, on or before December 24th. So if you're fine with delivering Scentsy on Christmas Eve, then go for it. You can hold out till December 18th and pray that we don't have bad weather, and you can go out and play Santa and deliver your Scentsy gifts on December the 24th. Personally, that's my family time, and I do not want to be sorting Scentsy or delivering Scentsy or stressed about Scentsy on Christmas Eve. Therefore, in the past, I have always made my personal cutoff date December 10th is the last date that I will collect party orders and submit my orders. If customers still want something after December the 10th, then I do have them order it directly off my website. That way it's a direct ship. It's going to go directly to my customer, and I'm not going to have to worry about being stressed out trying to sort it and deliver it. That's just a personal preference and personal choice that I do to meet my family's needs and what I feel is my time for my family. When we get that cutoff date, I would recommend that you give it a cushion of a couple days for you personally to have as a cutoff date so you don't find yourself in a bind. Okay, another thing that commonly comes up is plug-in bases turning yellow. I see pictures of this as well, and it gets yellow, sometimes even kind of black and sooty. The plug-in is still working properly, it just looks kind of ugly. And so customers or people might be like, ooh, is there something wrong, or can you fix this, or can you replace this? The reality is, over time, when silicone gets warm, it's going to yellow. It does not in any way affect the scent. It doesn't affect the safety of the plug-in. Therefore, that would not be warranted. If a customer just doesn't like it because they think it's ugly, they can purchase a replacement plug-in for $9. And you would do so by simply ordering replacement plug-in base. So that can be done very easily. Okay, be sure that you're sharing the information that you have. When we talk about washer whips, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but we commonly just think of washer whips as something that we put in our laundry because that's how it was intended. But how many of you have tried washer whips by sprinkling them on your carpets and waiting about 15 minutes to vacuum? I have heard so many different ways of using washer whips, and you want to be sharing that information with your customers so that they not only can purchase it for that reason, but for the many other reasons that the washer whips are important. Scentsy stands. I know a lot of you do not sell the stands, and I understand we don't spend a lot of time talking about them. But I do think it's important that you let your customers know that Scentsy warmers, while they don't get hot on the bottom, they will get warm. And depending on the type of finish that they are set on, it is possible that they could leave a ring, which could be very upsetting to a customer. If one of their warmers were to short out and they had it on a wood surface, it's very possible that that black sooty stuff that I've seen from time to time could even get on their woodwork. And if that was some antique piece of furniture or some really important piece of furniture, they're going to be pretty frustrated and angry because they were never led to believe they should have it on a stand, a trivet, a runner, on something. Me personally, in my home, I have a silver leaf buffet that I keep a warmer on. However, because I know that's a very delicate finish, I have it on a table runner. In my kitchen, however, I have a glass baker's rack. So in that case, I have the warmer directly on it because I'm not worried about what it's going to do to the glass. So be sure you're educating your customers so they can make good choices, and again, that way you'll have the information and they're not going to be upset with you. Another thing too is our light bulbs. Recently, after 10 years of being the same price of $1 a piece, the light bulbs have gone up. And the majority of Scentsy customers do not know that yet. So how I'm handling it is when I have customers who ask me, oh, I need a light bulb, how much are they? I simply say, you know, after 10 years of being $1 a piece, like all things, the light bulbs had to go up. They are $2 a piece, or to get a price break, you can simply purchase 3 for $5. Would you like to add one or a 3-pack? And honestly, the majority of the time, they go ahead and purchase the 3-pack because they just want to have the light bulbs. So again, it's all how you share the information, how you're passing on the information. It's how the customers are typically going to receive it. Okay, where do we come from? This is something that I get asked a lot too, and that is, well, where are warmers made? Where's our wax made? You know, I need to know this information to share with my customers. Well, in Meridian, Idaho, which is where our Scentsy corporate headquarters are located, that's where all of our wax, our room sprays, of course our testers, all of our fragrance products are made there. And if you ever have an opportunity to go to corporate headquarters, you can call in advance and make a tour, or better yet, promote to director and go to director boot camp, and you get like the full shebang tour. So that would be the best way to do that. And then the only Layers product that is currently made on headquarters site is our Layers laundry soap. They do hope at some point to have all of the Layers products made there, but right now that's outsourced. Only the laundry soap is being made there at the moment. All of our porcelain warmers are made in China. And some of you hopefully have read, and if you haven't, go to the Scented Bliss Facebook group and read the post that our lovely owner, Orville Thompson, wrote about China and our warmers. It's very informative. It will really educate you and give you a much better understanding. But the reality is this. They are the craftsmen. China have got a long history of craftsmanship with porcelain and ceramic. And so we want to go to the best, since he's always known to have the best craftsmanship. And in order to get that, that's where we need to go to have this done, and to make it affordable to where customers can actually afford to own them. Okay, well, I do hope that you have found this to be very helpful. Hopefully you've walked away with some new tips, some new ideas on how you're going to share Scentsy, educate your customers, and make this your best fall yet. So good luck, and never hesitate to call me if you have any questions or shoot me a message. I look forward to working with you. Bye-bye.